everybody, it's Matt with The Easy Life, and today I'm going to give you a basic rundown of how to set up your pump and your hoses and everything to pump off from the tanker you're hauling to your pump and to the customer's tank. So let's get to it. For the purposes of this video, we're not going to worry about paperwork. This is an overview of the actual physical setting up and pumping. So we're not going to worry about paperwork on this one. Here's the vent. If you don't open this, there's a possibility the tank will actually collapse. And here is the discharge that goes from the tank to the pump. Now this discharge is set up to where you can get from either side of the trailer on this particular trailer. We have it hooked up on the passenger side. Now from the passenger side, we hook up with this hose to the bottom of the pump. And the pump, when activated, will pump from here to this top, where we've also got it set up. And that's set up to a 2-inch hose. And again, you can go from either side of the truck. You go from a 2-inch hose, and we run that to the inlet port of the customer's tank. Now they specify which tank, and we hook it up where they tell us to. Now I already had all this hooked up and running when I decided to film all this. So on this one, where the discharge comes out, this handle right here is currently open. So you have to actually pull it out and open. This is the handle for the belly valve. It's currently in the open position because, like I said, I started filming this as it was already pumping off. It would be over here if it was closed. Now what that does is there's a cable attached that goes to a lever over here, and that opens this belly valve, and the oil will flow through this valve, which needs to be open. And again, it can go to either side, either the passenger side where it's hooked up, or the driver's side if it's more convenient. It just all depends on the circumstances, really. Now, once everything is hooked up, this valve right here, this handle, has a 3-position switch. Turn it all the way this way will activate this, which pumps hydraulic oil into a feature this particular one doesn't have, that would use the pump on the actual trailer itself to discharge. Now, in the position it's in, it actually runs the pump on my truck. So it goes again from the bottom to the top, and once it's running, you always make sure you're not leaking. Like there's a bucket under that fitting that'll catch oil from either of those. And also check back over here at the discharge on the trailer to make sure it's not leaking any oil in that bucket. If it is, you have a problem and you need to correct it. Don't forget to open your vent. Once it's pumping, there will be a slight vacuum. You can put your hand over it, you can feel a slight vacuum. If you don't feel that vacuum, again, you have a serious problem. You need to shut everything down and correct it. Now you can go from either side. Just depends on what's convenient. Now you'll be able to tell when you're just about done pumping, when you'll see the hoses start to actually bounce. Because what's happening is, as the pump's still running, your liquid runs out and you're pumping air with it. So that air is causing that hose to bounce. It'll bounce from the discharge to the pump, and it'll also bounce from the discharge of the pump to the customer's tank. So once you see that jumping like that, pretty good indication that you're either empty or nearly empty. Now once you are empty, there is a procedure you go through. You keep the pump running for a while as you start discharging, as you start disconnecting hoses. You'll start from the tanker, and slowly walk out your hoses. All right, you'll close your first thing you'll do is you'll close your discharge valve, then walk the hose out. That means you pick up the hose, and gravity will cause all the liquid in it to go downhill as gravity works. That goes into the pump. The pump is still pumping, so it'll still go into the customer's tank as you're getting it down there. Now once you get that hose walked out, you can then disconnect the hose at the bottom of the pump, on the intake of the pump. there's going to be oil or fluid of whatever kind still in that hose and still in the pump. So you disconnect that and let all that oil drain into whatever bucket or whatever catch can you may have. Now, once everything is discharged, once all the hoses are clear and everything, then you put your pump in neutral, and then you'll get everything cleaned up. Make sure you don't spill any oil or anything. Walk out the hose going from the pump to the customer's tank. Get it all cleaned up. Get it all hooked back up. Close your belly valve. Shut off your pump. Get your paperwork done, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is not a detailed way to do things. I mean, if you want a fully detailed way, I could do that, but I think you get the gist of it. And different trailers have different features. Like, for instance, if we would say the trailer in question in this case was a single compartment. If it's a multi-compartment, then you have to routinely move, as each compartment is empty, you have to move the hose over to the next compartment. And the customer has to move the hose over to whatever tank they want the other fluid to be in, if there's different oils or different fluids or whatever. So I hope you got a little bit out of this. I hope you learned a little something about what I do for a living. And until next time, God bless and be good.